Hi, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down below, right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find it useful, helpful, or insightful at all as we go along, and share it with a friend or anyone who may benefit from it. If you don't know who I am Sandra Me. I'm the author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity, which is out on Amazon. And I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. If you want to check out any of those sites, links are down below in the description. So tonight's episode, I want to talk to you about what will it take for me to find the right relationship or friendship of my dreams. Yep. This is a question that I actually ask myself, and I found out a lot about the answer to this. And it's a question I think is on a lot of people's minds who are asexual. Like, am I ever going to find the right person to be in a relationship with? Am I ever going to find someone who really understands me as a friend? Am I ever going to get that special person in my life, right? Some asexuals, they don't want a relationship, but they still desire a really, really strong friendship that's very, very deep. So I'm going to go into this on this video about how to find someone. What will it take basically to find the relationship or friendship of your dreams? And obviously, as usual, this is an asexual channel for those who lack sexual attraction, but these techniques could easily be applied to any type of sexual orientation that you are. You know, you don't have to be asexual to apply this information. This is like personal growth information, as I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in your asexual life journey. But obviously, I know there's some people who watch this channel that aren't asexual but can still benefit from personal growth experiences that I have and can pass on to you. So in order to get the relationship or friendship of your dreams, for a start, you have to believe it is possible, right? So at the moment, I've got a lot of activity going on in my asexual no sex dating group. I've been asking a lot of questions in there more lately. And one of the people in there doesn't believe it's possible that they can find someone. They're like laughing at the idea of it and the notion. Well, whilst I sympathize and empathize with that person because I know how difficult it is and how hard it is, you have to believe it's possible. If you don't believe it's possible, it's not going to happen, because you'll self-sabotage the situation. You'll make sure it doesn't happen subconsciously, because you just will. It'll be, you know, that's what will happen. You'll subconsciously put into your mind things that you're never going to find someone, and what we think about expands. So if you think we're not going to find someone, then guess what? We won't, right? I believe I will find someone who's asexual for me. However, I might have to venture out and go on sexual dating sites to find them. You know, I might even have to consider maybe a sexual person could be without me, without sex, you know? So first of all, you have to believe it's possible to get the relationship or friendship of your dreams. Secondly, you have to realize that if what you're doing at the moment isn't currently working, i.e. you haven't got the relationship of your dreams or the friendship of your dreams, you're going to have to change something, because if we keep going around that hamster wheel, we'll keep getting the same results. You know, it's like a person being on a treadmill. You're doing the same thing, walking the same way, jogging the same way on the treadmill. You're going to get the same results. Do you see what I mean? So you have to be willing to say, hang on a minute, things haven't worked so far. I need to change what I'm doing. So that might mean that we do a number of different things. And I'm going to come on to some of those in a minute, you know. I think it's really important that I go through some of the things that we can do differently. But, you know, one is to believe it's possible to get the relationship or friendship of your dreams. And two is you have to realize that you need to change something about what you're doing, because what you're doing is not working. Number three is you have to have immense courage. You have to have immense courage, because number four, you're going to be getting out of your comfort zone. If you stay in the comfort zone you're already in, right? It's equivalent to doing the same thing you've always been doing, and you're getting the same results. So it requires you to be very, very, very courageous and get out of your comfort zone. Okay? So what does this mean? Let's get on to some of the things this means. This means approaching people you would not usually speak to. This means strangers in supermarkets, on the bus, on public transport, when you're walking past someone in the street, all these types of scenarios that probably frighten you to death. You need to be doing this type of thing, because if you're not making the connections in the social circles you're in or the online circles you're in, and really, to have a proper, true, long-lasting, loving, committed relationship, which is basically what I'm talking about here, or long-lasting, friendship, you need to be getting out of your comfort zone and making new connections. And if what you're doing at the moment is not working, it's not working, is it? You can't sit there like bashing your head against the brick wall going, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working, like a parrot. If it's not working, it's not working. You have to change what you're doing, right? You have to change what you're doing. Like, I realise after being on asexual dating sites since 2014, it doesn't mean to say I cannot meet my asexual partner there or on ASAP, because there are more people coming on it, but usually it's the same people all the time on there. So at the moment, it's not looking likely that I'm going to find the person I want on there. Or if I am, maybe I am in years to come. If I want to go on dates, if I want to meet some real live people, I'm going to have to talk to more sexual guys, aren't I? I'm going to have to go on probably more sexual dating sites and register there and say I'm asexual and stuff like that. Or I'm going to have to go out into groups, right? I'm going to have to go out in meetup groups. So, for example, meetup.com. But I've looked in my city and there's not any meetup groups even apart from business stuff, which, I could meet someone through a business. And I sometimes do go to business networking events. But again, they've got business on their mind, not really a relationship. Do you know what I mean? But, there's other things you could do. You could join a gym, for example. You could start taking up a hobby and do a certain class and make friends there. Because we're talking about friendship as well, not just a relationship. So you can start, whatever it is that you're doing at the moment, it's not working. So you need to get out of your comfort zone and do something different. And you need to speak to people you don't usually speak to. And that might frighten the hell out of you. But unless you get out of your comfort zone, you'll live a life of regret. And I don't want that for you. You have to be bold and be brave. I need to be bold and braver. I recognize in my life that I need to change. I actually want to change. I've got to a stage in my life where I want to change my life. I want to change myself. I mean, some bits of me, I do still love all of me. Don't get me wrong, but there's certain aspects of my life that I need to make changes to. And change always starts with yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's like certain things I'm getting rid of that I've had attachment to. Like some people get attached to objects. I wasn't even consciously aware that I was attached to certain objects until several months ago. For example, I have a commercial printer, right? I paid a lot of money for it. I had an accident in 2012 and I used the accident money to pay for this commercial printer. It's especially made. 6 weeks it took. It was a lot of money, right? But I got it because I wanted to publish books on it. But it wasn't, and I thought I would be doing like lots of training so I could create training packs and stuff like that. And the printer was like, it was like a very, very good value for money. The pages, just normal printing. And of course I write a lot. I need a printer that produces a lot of pages for a little amount of money. So my like professionally wise, the printer did the job, right? But personal wise, I got attached to the printer. Now, I know people might not admit this stuff in public, but it's true. We become attached to things or have certain habits and behaviors that we don't consciously think of or be aware of. And therefore, we don't change them because we don't acknowledge them, or we don't want to acknowledge them and admit them. Like, who wants to admit they've got some attachment to a printer? People don't usually want to admit these things, unless obviously some people get sexually attracted to objects. I'm not sexually attracted to an object, but I do get emotionally attached to some objects. I'm emotionally attached to this printer, but not so much anymore because I'm selling it and getting rid of it. And this, at the end of this weekend, it's sold. This person's picking it up, and I'm happy because I'm going to have it out of my life. And it means I've detached from it, I've become detached from it. Now, this printer, it's not because it's just a printer, it's because of all the years and situations that printer has been there for me. That's how I get emotionally attached to a printer. And I'm sure many, many more people do this type of thing, just that they don't want to admit it because it seems weird, absurd, ridiculous. But when you see cartoons, right, you can sometimes see on YouTube, there's cartoons of washing machines. Do you know what I mean? There's like a washing machine and someone's done face and hands on it and made it move. There's like oranges. There was that very, very famous video with an orange in it. You must have seen that, where the orange, someone had like dubbed like lips over it. They put lips over it. They edited the video so it got lips, so it looked like the orange was talking. You know what I mean? So they make caricatures out of everyday objects. Now, the printer has been with me through tough times. It's produced books for me. My first ever book. It hasn't. I couldn't use it to actually print books to send off to people, but because I realised I'd need a binding machine and everything else go with it, which I didn't think about at the time. So I've used Amazon to print my books. But because I do so much editing on my books, that stood the test of time. And I've been to conferences and stuff when I had to print stuff off for big conferences I've been that changed my life. So that printer stands for a lot more than a piece of machinery. It stands for a piece of my life, a piece of my history, a piece of my heritage. It stands for, the good times and the bad times. It stands for me changing my life. I did make severe, dramatic changes in my life when I got that printer, the year I got that printer. That's the year I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, 2012. That was the year I went to my first ever business seminar and I stopped being depressed. That printer has been with me for 7 years through thick and thin. Do you see what I mean? And that's how I've become emotionally attached to a printer. But I realise I need to move on. I've got a new printer now. That's not actually as good, I will admit. It's a laser, inkjet, sorry, and that my old one's a laser. My old one's an executive series. My old one's amazing, but it doesn't work anymore. It stopped working. Now, to replace it was going to cost me, to get an engineer to come and look at it and to actually replace the board, if that's what needed doing, was going to cost me the same amount of money as getting a brand new printer. And the new printer I've got in the long run will be cheaper. And it shouldn't stopping on me, because that one kept stopping on me anyway. So I'm selling it really cheap for spare parts. But if the guy who's coming to pick it up is good with computers, which I think he is from what I've seen on the internet, then he could potentially do it up and sell it for a few hundred, So he's going to potentially make a good profit out of it. But I can't even lift it. It's that heavy, and it is a beautiful printer. I've looked after it loads. It's like got a character and life of its own with the way I treat it, But it needs to go. I need to move on. I need to get stuff from my past that's no longer serving me and helping me, no longer good for me in my life. It's not doing any good. It's just sat there. I need to get it out of my life. Do you know what I mean? Because if you don't, and this is very symbolic of getting rid of things out your life, detaching from objects, detaching from things, detaching from situations in your past, and that's what you need to do. You need to move on. And this all goes into relationships and friendships. If you want to get your ideal friendship or relationship, you have to let go of the past. You have to detach from past things and change yourself and change your life. Change what you're doing. If you keep doing the same things, like I said, you keep getting the same results. So you have to change. I'm clearing through some of my other stuff that I've had for years. I'm letting stuff go. Some stuff is harder than others to let go. I admit some stuff I still could use, but I haven't used it for a while, And so I'm detaching and letting it go. Like I like board games, but I got no one to play them with. So I've got rid of some board games already. I'll be getting rid of more, but it's very, very important I do this and I change myself, because I don't want to keep being in the same situation. Like some of my domains, my website domains, I have had for 7 years. 3 of them, I think, I don't know if I've had all of them 7 years. I think I've had some of them 5. But anyway, I've had them for years. I've just dropped. I gained 5 domains this year. Ones that are gonna be more profitable in niches that are gonna have higher demand. That, well, at least 4 out of the 5. One I wasn't 100% sure of, but 4 out of the 5, I can make good careers out of them. And because I do asexual stuff, everything's geared around asexuals. I want my whole life really to be writing for asexuals, but at the moment I'm not in a financial position where I can say, yeah, I've got an income from asexual books that I write and from doing asexual stuff. Most of the asexual stuff I do for free, right? And I can't eat off free. It doesn't work that way, as you know. So I have to be doing other stuff. So I got 5 domains and I've got rid of 6, but the domains I've got rid of, some of them I've had such a long time. And I found that really difficult to let them go because I built a whole quirky family. I literally had Quirky Marketing, World of Quirky, Quirky Academy. I've still got some of my quirky family, but I got rid of 1, 2, 3. I got rid of 2 quirkies, which I wasn't bothered about, and I got rid of 3 other quirky domains that used to make up my whole world of quirky, as I called it. And I love that because I love being quirky. I love being different, but I had to leave these websites go because I'm not really using them. They're just information sites. It's no good, is it? They're not making any money. They're just sat there for information. Like, I still got my Facebook pages for them, and my Twitter accounts do really well. I find that most of the people that I connect with and that are interested in my stuff are mostly come from social media, Facebook and Twitter, not really websites. I think, like, websites for me aren't really doing the stuff. Apart from my asexualist.com website, that's, which goes with this channel, that's like my most viewed website. That gets people every week regularly, going and looking on it. I've just done a brand new blog post because I couldn't get into my site for about a month. So yeah, a really helpful blog post, actually. You should check it out, which is 10 common myths about asexuality busted. It's on there at the moment, asexualized with an s.com. So really good blog post, actually. Yeah, I spent a while doing that today because I needed to do one for you guys. I haven't done one for like a month. But so yeah, so I love asexuality. I love writing. It's my hugest passion, ever. But I also need to be doing some other niches as well to get other regular income coming in. So I've had to ditch some of these other websites, these domains, and there's more that I can ditch in the future. There's probably at least another one I'm going to do this year. Because, yeah, while I like the domain, it's a great domain, the domain name's amazing. If I'm not really doing much with it and I'm doing, like, asexuality is my main thing, but there's like a few other, domains and projects that I really want to push forward with, and so I have to just get rid of them. But it's easier once I've started getting rid of those to just do it. So I get rid of it and I just don't, because I can get them back, those domains at the moment. They're in like there's a certain period where my host keeps them for me if I want to change my mind. And it takes great strength in saying, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go back to those old sites. I'm not going to go back to those old ways because they didn't serve me. They didn't work. And that's how you've got to treat your life, and relationships. If you are at a stage in your life where you haven't got any friends that you want, or you haven't got the relationship you want, you need to make a change. And change does start with yourself. Like, I'm not in, like, career-wise, part of me is, like, hugely successful. I've got books out on Amazon. My Asexual Perspectives ones always sell every month. I'm changing people's lives. Someone at the moment who contacted me through asexuality.com, they're reading my Asexual Perspectives book and they literally said they can relate so much and they feel now that they can accept themselves and just be themselves because they've read my book. And they just relate to it so much. And it's like helped change their life. I know that Asexual Perspectives book does change people's lives. I've had other people tell me, and this person at the moment's telling me that. They say I'm still reading it and I can really relate. And now I'm knowing that I can just be myself and just be me and I don't have to worry anymore. That's what the power of the written word can do. That's what an asexual book can do for an asexual person. Do you know what I mean? That to me is success. Money isn't success, but you need money to live. You need money for a roof over your head. Because if I got no roof over my head, I can't afford internet access. I can't do these videos for you anymore. I can't maintain my groups on Facebook anymore for you guys. I can't connect with you at all. Do you see what I'm saying? You still need money. Like, some people are like, oh, it doesn't cost anything to go on the internet. You're so wrong. You need internet. I need it to pay for internet through my phone, like my mobile and my landline. No, everything costs money. So money has to be got. You know what I mean? And it's very, very important that people do earn money, you know, and have a love relationship with money. So obviously I'm what I'm doing is ditching some of the sites that really aren't working out for me, even though they're amazing domain names. I mean, some of them are worth quite a few £100, but you know, unless you've got someone who's going to buy them there and then, and you know that it's quite sneaky, because if you put them on domain sites that sell them, if you don't sell, then the people who own the sites, they go and pick them and then sell them for themselves afterwards. They're very sneaky like that. Do you know what I mean? But if someone else can benefit from the sites and the domain names, go for it. That's what I say. And that's what you got to do. You got to detach from it and say, do you know what? If you can work with my old domain names that I didn't really do much with, because I've moved on to ones that are more suitable for me now, go ahead, go for gold. I hope you're super successful, and I wish the person a lot of love and a lot of luck, because it's better for them to be in the hands of someone who's going to use them more than them to just like sit and collect virtual dust, if you know what I mean. That's not really how websites work. You know, you need to be blogging regularly, and my asexualist.com site is the only asexual one I blog on regularly. And then I've got 2 blogs that I've had for years, which are not self-hosted. They're hosted by WordPress, which is quirkybooks.wordpress.com and beatredundancyblues.wordpress.com, and I've always blogged on them, and I will blog on them till the day I die, because I love them, and they get regular, you know, I've got a lot of subscribers on there, and I was doing that before I did asexual stuff. And you know, I'm actually growing my audience on them all the time. You know, I've got people going and looking at them regularly, you know. So for me, like branching out into self-hosted stuff, some of them haven't worked out. I get better stuff from blogs I've had for years. Do you know what I mean? And you know, you have to follow your own instincts in life as well, you know. So part of it is like finding the right relationship and finding the right friendship. It's a combination of, you have to break through your fears, because you do have a lot of fears, and be very strong and courageous and go up to strangers and talk to them. You know, if you're in the street, you know, just start talking and say, hey, it's a beautiful sunny day today, isn't it? If it is sunny. You know, if you're in the supermarket, you know, just say, oh, it's a long queue today, isn't it? Yeah. Or some stuff like that. Or someone's picking out strawberries, say, gosh, I love strawberries. Aren't they looking great today? Or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just, or how's your day going? Do you know what I mean? Just open up the conversation. You know, it might seem weird or silly at first. And if they reject you, you have to get used to rejection as well. And that's another thing. Yeah. Especially with relationships, you know, you have to get used to being rejected, people saying no, because you'll get loads and loads of no's before you get a yes. And don't forget, you only want one. Like, if you're monogamous and you're looking for a relationship, you only need one person to find, just that one special person who's your ideal relationship person. That's all you need to find. And there's billions of people in the world. I mean, okay, only 1% supposed to be asexual, recorded 1%, but it's still 1 in every 100 people. And, you know, some sexuals will be able to live without sex. Do you know what I mean? There are a few that will be able to do that. And if you're looking for friendship, you know, sex is not really a thing, is it? Apart from some sexuals might read into the fact that you're looking for more than friendship. So there's always that to contend with. But, you know, making friends, with go and get yourself some hobbies, and go to art classes or pottery classes. Go and volunteer at a local shop, because you will make friends like that. You know, you'll make friends with the people in the shop. You'll make friends with the customers. And, you know, there's a lot of charities that need help. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a lot of classes that you can probably get in the community for free or for a little cost as well. You know, but go out of your comfort zone. If you just keep doing the same thing, you know, I say to some people, like, they're like, oh, I can't find an asexual in my area. It's like, well, you've got to move, then haven't you? Move your bum and go and find someone in a different area, or do something different. Do you know what I mean? You've got to, you know, like, I don't want to move because I love where I live in my flat, to be honest. I do want to move her. But, you know, I haven't even found anyone suitable for me to even think about them moving to me or me moving to them. Do you know what I mean? It just hasn't happened. And I love living singularly, you know, I love living here. But I mean, you know, I would love to have enough money to go and buy somewhere else, my own place somewhere sometime, but I adore living here, you know? I mean, I'd say living here is working, do you know what I mean? But obviously what I'm doing in terms of relationships not. So I might have to go on back on dating sites that aren't for asexuals, because if I keep going on the asexual dating sites and it's the same people, I'm not going to find anyone there, am I? It's just not going to happen. But obviously I need to keep opening up and talking to more and more people who I don't know as well. Do you know what I mean? That's really, really important. So I think as well, you know, you need to decide as well, like, are you ready for a relationship right now? Are you ready to have new friendships and to date those? Or does other aspects of your life need to be addressed? You know, maybe you've got some work to do on yourself before, for example, getting into a relationship. Maybe there's things that you need to change, to improve on, to grow. You should always be changing, growing and developing yourself anyway, regardless of whether you're in a relationship or out of a relationship. You always have to do that. But do you feel like a bit broken, as in the sense that you've got a lot of past wounds that you need to heal first and all that type of thing? If you do, then you need to get on with the work that it will take to change that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're never gonna be 100% probably healed person for a long, long time. Or many people, you know, they still have some childhood trauma throughout their whole life, you know. So you might not be able to get rid of it all, but the right person will be able to help you work through that. But you know, you need to still be have worked on yourself substantially and think that not everything is someone else's fault, for example, and that you can bet your life and bet yourself. You know, I know that my life is down to myself. Everything that happens in my life is my own responsibility. And that's the way you have to think. Everything is down to you. You know, if I keep going the same ASAP and I keep going on the same dating sites since 2014, 5 years later, it's not happening. That means I've got to change something, doesn't it? You know, if I want a relationship, it means probably I have got to go on dating sites which are predominantly for heterosexuals. Do you know what I mean? It's not my favorite thing to do. It's scary, but I probably will end up going back on there at some point. I don't want to do it at the moment, as in some ways, because I feel that I need to I've got career stuff that's very, very important to me and sorting out at the moment. However, a relationship is very important to me, getting a relationship, you know. Like, I have a lot of fears about getting into a new relationship, I'll be honest with you. I have a lot of doubts and worries, but at the same time I do want someone, you know. And you have to push through your comfort zone. You have to get out there and put yourself out there, you know. I thought I got out my comfort zone a lot, but I think I need to get out more, you know. And there's been two British guys lately that I found attractive, which, you know, I usually find foreign guys attractive. One of them was when I was out at the weekend, saying goodbye to my non-asexual friend who's moving away, my best female friend. There was a guy in a pub and he was really good looking. He was like a young British guy. When I say young, not that young, probably late 20s. And I don't know, he might have been mid to late 20s. And but you know, like, he was talking to me, he's like holding a jug of alcohol. You know, I'm not even interested in alcohol, but he's kind of holding my hand while he was talking to me, which was quite nice. And he was very, very good looking. Very good looking, like short, spiky hair. I really liked. He did have like a bit like a bodybuilder posture, but I thought he still looked nice. Do you know what I mean? And I felt comfortable around him touching my hand, which, you know, is quite weird for me. I don't usually get that, so that was interesting. And there's a guy in the supermarket, my local supermarket. Nearly all the guys in my supermarket are foreign, and I fancy, you know, I'm attracted to nearly every single one of them, pretty much. Like, pretty much all of them, I think I've got some attraction for, because they're foreign. You know, I'm a hyper romantic who tends to have some attraction for almost most guys I find aesthetically appealing, which is usually foreign guys. So one guy in there is very, very cute. Not a nerdy type of cute. Do you know what I mean? Not someone you think, oh, he's drop dead gorgeous, but you would think he's cute. And there's one guy in there who's very good looking. He's got slightly tan skin. He's beautiful looking. And then there's a couple of others that one that used to fancy me, I think, and then another one that always smiles at me like more than a friendship smile and stuff like that. So there's quite a lot of them. I don't fancy all of them, probably. There's a couple of guys in there that are not really my scene, but a lot of them, about 5 of them, are quite good looking. But yeah, this other guy, he's British in there, and all of a sudden, like, I think he likes me a little bit. That's why I got the impression, because like I was going around the supermarket and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, hi, I haven't seen you in a while." And I'm like thinking, that's a bit odd for someone to say that. It's like, why are you paying attention to how much I come in here or not? Because unless you fancy me. And then I was walking home and then they were working the opposite side of the road and they waved right across the side of the road to me. And I'm like, yeah, you like me a bit more than bit more than a customer. Because, you know, all the other guys, I sometimes try to say hello to them when I see them and they don't really want to speak to me. But he was like, woo, right across the road like that. Really like, oh, nice to see you. Like, really acknowledge me. So I'm like, I think you fancy me. I can see me kissing him as well, which is really strange. You know, I don't usually get that. And I think he's in his 30s, not in his 20s. So that's quite unusual for me. So yeah. So yeah, that surprised me. So I think you have to as well you know, go out with the flow a bit and, you know, embrace the unexpected to a certain extent and be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Yeah, you've really got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, you know, because you're gonna have to get out of your comfort zone. Like I this year want to change. Like there's like what 3 months left of this year now, and I really want to change myself, and I want to keep changing myself and keep bettering myself, and I want to keep changing my business stuff that I'm doing for the better. You know, I want to keep improving my life. You know, there's like so much stuff I need to do. I need to fit a lot in before the end of this year, business wise as well. But you also have to remember to self praise yourself. So you know, if you're finding dating and finding, you know, relationship or friendship hard, you also have to be not too hard on yourself all the time. Like sometimes I actually am admittedly very hard on myself sometimes. Like with my work, particularly, I'm like, why are you so slow? But that doesn't help. When you say stuff like that, it's just negative self-talk. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, if I look at my own life now compared to what it was years ago, I'm faster. Like even writing a book, my first book took me 2.5 years to write, which was a book about redundancy, actually. Whereas my asexual book took me a year to write. Do you see what I mean? That's a year and a half less. That's a vast improvement. The fibromyalgia book, I mean, I pretty much wrote the bulk of that in 2017 and then I didn't touch it. But I started writing it again this year. But if you think about it, like probably I spent like what, I don't know how many months I spent, between 3 and 6 months writing it in 2017. So if we take take 6 months, and I started writing it again in June, July, August it was published. So that's probably about 9 months to do the fibromyalgia book. You know, 9 months for a book is really good going. Most books take at least 12 months, right? And that's been under, I would say, 12 months. Although you could argue, you know, I haven't done anything with it since 2017, but you know, all in all, I think it's less than 12 months. That's just amazing. And now I'm working on my second book for asexuals and it's coming on really well. So do you know what I mean? I have speeded up. I've really speeded up. And I know I'm getting, like, for example, internet marketing, affiliate marketing, for example. I'm starting to do better with that, seeing more money come in from affiliate marketing, even though it's like not extreme amounts. It's like bigger amounts than it was before. Do you see what I mean? I'm getting better at that type of thing. So, you know, I think you have to praise yourself and acknowledge yourself for all your achievements, and you really have to shine your light through and through, you know? Like in order to be attracted to people, and in order to people to be attracted to you, you have to be attractive. You have to light up your own world and light up your own life. You have to come alive. You have to be your true, authentic self so that they can fall in love with the real you, or they can love you as a friend for who you are. Because if you start putting pretenses up, your friendship or relationship will be based on lying. You'll have to keep pretending to be something you're not. And then you won't be able to sit there being comfortable. Like with my best friends, right? Best asexual friends, I can just sit there in the cinema. Well, my bestest ever asexual friend, I can just sit there in the cinema and so comfortable. Like I've known them for years. Like, I mean, I have known them for a couple of years, I think now, but do you know what I mean? It's just something so relaxed, like they're my family, even though they're not my blood relations. Do you know what I mean? It's just so comfortable. Do you know what I'm saying? My two best asexual friends, both of them, they're just lovely people. And we all get on so well. I can't describe it. It's like having your own asexual family. So in terms for me, I have got good asexual friends. You know, I can still get some more asexual friends, but I've got two really, really strong, good asexual friends, which I'm really proud that I've got, you know? And but I still would like a romantic relationship, you know. Part of me loves being single, but part of me wants a romantic relationship. I think if I found the right guy, someone who I felt comfortable with, who was my bestest ever friend, really, really good guy for me, I think I wouldn't mind so much giving up my singledom, if you know what I mean. But there's no point in giving it up for someone who's not worth it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd much rather stay single. So, you know, I think that in dating and find the right friend, you've got to use your intuition. You've got to use your gut feeling, but you've also got to push through your fears. Like, fear and instinct can be two very similar feelings, but not the same. Like, if something's instinct, you'll kind of like feel it come up in your body just like that. It'll be like, oh, I feel I've known this person before, or oh, I'm sure I've been here before, or oh, I've got to do this now, and it just comes to you. Whereas fear is more of a like anxiety throughout your body, and it's more restrictive. It's more not expansive. It's more like like that, if you know what I mean. I mean, fear is really difficult. Like, if you got fear of something, like, you know, like I do have anxiety, but I have to push through fears. Like I said with that printer, I didn't even realize till this year that I was so attached to print. I didn't realize I was attached to my domains, to be honest with you. I was attached to the quirky family of domains because I didn't see them as domains. I saw them as my family, even though they're just domain names. Do you know what I mean? I know people might think this is strange, but I'm sure some other asexuals feel the same. So you emotionally attached to something that isn't a human being because of what it means to you. I mean, we all do it to a certain extent. You might buy a necklace and you're fond of the necklace. You don't want to let the necklace go because of who gave it to you, or what happened when you had the necklace, or a cuddly toy that you've had since childhood, because that cuddly toy has seen you through thick and thin when no one else understood you. Do you see what I'm saying? So we all kind of attach things, but it's good, like, if you want to change your life, to learn the art of detachment, which I'm trying to do. I'm not going to pretend I'm excellent at it or anything like that, because far from it, but the fact that I'm managing to detach from some things that I've been attached to for years is very good. You know, and that's part of, like I said, self-praising, because we can be very critical of ourselves. I feel, but sometimes I'm very critical of myself, you know? And when you criticize yourself and have negative self-talk all the time, it doesn't do you any good. You know, it just slows your progress down. And then you'll say, oh, I'm going slow. And it's because you're slowing yourself down by criticizing. Whereas if I say to myself, like, today I've done 3 blog posts. Well, one of them is for asexuals and the other 2 is about business product, right? But the other 2 are on 2 separate blogs, but the posts are nearly identical, right? Because I wanted to replicate on my other one, because some of the audience crossed over, like. But you know, and today I had workmen in my there was workmen in the house. There was one who's fixing the banister, which all the posts had come undone, and it's very, very dangerous. Health and safety, you can't hold on to it when you go up and down the stairs, because, you know, the post just like came out of my hand the other day. So the guy, you know, one guy was doing that, and another guy came to fix the tap in my toilet that was kept coming on by itself and making a squeaking noise, and found out the washer was completely snapped in half. So, well, yeah, it was snapped in. It wasn't snapped completely in 2, but it was snapped down the middle. So it was completely broke. You know, and my point is that sometimes we are hard on ourselves when we don't need to be, and we need to give ourselves a lot of love and self-praise, because in order to attract the right relationship or friendship, we need to acknowledge our own self-worth. That's what I'm trying to say to you. And if you're always criticizing yourself or putting yourself down, even without consciously realizing it, you're creating a bad aura for the right person to come along. You know, you have to be proud to be you. You know, you have to be happy to be you. You have to be grateful and thankful for everything done. So today, you know, I've published blog posts on 3 blogs. Oh, thank you. Appreciate the thumbs up. Love you. Yeah, you know, I've published 3 blog posts. I've had the guy fix my toilet tap. The guys fixed the banister, which required backwards and forwards emails to the landlord. I've been out and done a bit of shopping tonight, which was great. I've cleaned out all under my printer and got it ready for people picking it up who bought it on Saturday. So I had to clean all underneath it because it's that heavy I can't lift it, but it's on 2 metal bars. There's like a stand, but there was loads of stuff underneath it, like dust and bits of paper and pens that had rolled under there, under the gap between the print and that. So I cleared up all that area ready for Saturday. So I did all that. I did washing up today. I did a clothes wash today. So if you add all those things up about stuff I actually did in the day, that's a very productive day, really. It's just that we tend to take things for granted, do you know what I mean? And we tend to look at negative stuff as human beings rather than positive. But you've got to have your self-worth before you get into a relationship or before even you attract the right people for a friendship. If you've got a lack of self-worth and you don't see what you've done in the day, then, it can be very disappointing. You can be constantly trying to catch up with your tail, like one of those dogs that's going round and round in a circle, trying to catch its tail all the time. It can be a bit like that, that you never feel your progress. Like, I've got other stuff to do. I've got the second asexual book to work on. I've got tons of video editing for a course I need to do, one for asexuals. And I've also got other videos that I need to edit. One, like, I've needed to edit for a long time, but at the end of the day, I might probably won't get it done. I'll probably need to go to sleep and get up early in the morning to start doing it. But the day before my fibromyalgia book I was finishing off, I actually finally getting a proof copy sent to me now. So the fibromyalgia book for now, I can actually breathe a sigh of relief that I should be getting the proof copy. The proof copy's okay. I can send it to print and finally people can get it. But when you're publishing under your own imprint, you've got to take care of the sales, the marketing yourself. You've got to take care of editorial. You've got to I've got to employ someone to convert my Kindle cover into a printed cover. I've got to pay someone to typeset my book. All this takes time and consultation with these people, so sometimes it isn't an overnight fix. But I know that fibromyalgia book is going to help so many people for years to come, because that's under my own imprint, and it's going to be in 6 libraries in the UK, including the London one, and it's to save people from pain. It's not just any fibromyalgia book. You don't even have to have fibromyalgia book for it to benefit from you. It literally shows people how to save themselves from pain in 25 aspects of life, and many of which you don't even need to have fibro for them to be relevant to you. A lot of stuff in there is to do with depression, anxiety, how to overcome depression and how to reduce anxiety, worry less, It is just a brilliant book. Fibromyalgia self-help handbook. Do look it up and get yourself a copy of that, even if, there's quite a few asexuals that have bought it already. Because it has helped them with their anxiety and stress and depression. It's helped them become more positive. So, do you know what I mean? And it mentions it introduces asexuality in there and says what asexuality is about, and in one of the chapters. So, I'm spreading awareness of asexuality. I'm known as Ace Fibro Girl now, asexual fibro girl, basically. And so, I do a lot, but sometimes I feel like I'm not progressing. Like when I sit down and I've got hours that I'm just working on stories for the book, I actually feel like I'm making real progress. When I'm doing substantial amount of video editing, uploading it to the platform, I feel like I'm actually doing something. But today I personally feel like I've done like less than I should be doing, even though that I've fit quite a lot in my day. I mean, I'm not sat down doing F all. I'm constantly doing something. Do you know what I mean? Constantly doing something. The only time I've sat down is to eat my evening meal. I sat down to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? So, which you need to have some break sometimes. But sometimes I feel like I'm so slow. But I've got to remember that saying stuff like that to me about being so slow is not very helpful. Like when I change it around and say, okay, I've done really well today. This is what I've done. I've listed all my diary. I've just told you everything that's happened today. Do you know what I mean? Which is amazing, really. Do you know what I mean? There is quite a lot of stuff. And so when I start to, put that into perspective more, then I feel a lot better. I've been in my asexual group today, one in particular. I've been answering comments in there quite a bit as well. I mean, all this stuff takes time. Do you know what I mean? I watched a video as well, which was a business video. It was a live stream. It's very, very useful. I watched a couple of dating advice videos as well, because obviously I'm learning dating skills, better skills at improving myself. So then I pass these on to you guys. So, I'm pretty much always doing something. Do you know what I mean? I never really stop. And so, I think it's important that, like I said, before you get into a relationship, and if you're looking for the relationship of your dreams, I mean, obviously the relationship of your dreams does start with you. Before you think about friendship or relationship with anyone else, if you haven't got a good relationship with yourself, then you're not going to have a good relationship with anyone else, because if you don't love yourself or like yourself, why should anyone else? And some people don't understand that, and I didn't. When I suffered depression, I didn't really get it. I was like, why can't anyone love me? Just love me. And I'm not saying that voice has totally gone away. I mean, I think everyone's got this little voice sometimes in their head that says, why can't this person just love me for me? But if they don't love you for who you are, they're not the right person anyway, to be quite blunt with you. But it starts with self-love and self-compassion, and having some kindness towards yourself, having the ability to write things down in your diary. Like I have a diary, which, I've got all this stuff in it, as you can see, just briefly, and I've been writing down stuff that I've done today, that's that I've actually achieved today. I mean, there's stuff from yesterday that I did one of those things today, but I didn't do it yesterday, right? But I did those two. I did one of them today, right? But there's other ones that there's one other thing that I didn't do, and I'm kind of like, oh, I've got to do that tomorrow now, but it's fine, because I know I've got to do it. But I can sit here and thinking, oh, I haven't done this, that, and the other. But you have to praise yourself for what you have done, and you have to recognise your good qualities. Because the thing is, if you don't, you're not going to attract the right person. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you put yourself down, guess what? You'll attract someone that puts you down. You'll attract someone that doesn't value your worth, because you don't value yourself worth. And so it's very important, for example, if you've heard of law of attraction, you attract what you put out. So if you don't self-love, then you'll get people who don't love you as well, who don't treat you with self-respect, who don't think you're worthy. You'll get, I'll attract people in my life that start saying, oh, well, you're slow at things, aren't you? Because that's what I'm currently saying to myself some of the time. So I'll get some people that come into my life and go, oh, you're slow at doing this. What do you do? Actually, I do a damn lot. You know what I mean? That's the reality of the situation. I do a damn lot. It's just that I feel like I look at my calendar sometimes, I'm like, oh, I haven't done enough this month. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes the time just does fly by. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, I want to do more this month. I want to do more. But, even the fact that I want to push myself to do more is a good thing. And that should be praised. You know what I mean? But, I listen to a lot of motivational and inspirational videos as well. And one of the videos I watch, it's like, you saying you're too slow, you're not doing this, that, and the other, is no good. It's negative self-talk, and you have to stop it. And I guess I still haven't stopped that yet. I guess I still feel like I need to be faster. But I've always been the type of person that's more slow and thorough than faster. That's part of my personality. But I want to speed up. But like I said, I have sped up with the writing, for example. And I think, like, some people's journeys are longer than others, and some people's are shorter. And I think you have to just accept sometimes that we're all on our own journey in life. It's not a huge race. The journey is part of the actual enjoyment of life. It's like I've learned so much in the last 2 years about how to manage money better, how to budget better, how to detach from items like I'm doing this year, how to like more relationship skills. I'd say, even though I haven't met the right guy yet, I've still got better relationship skills than I had. I've discovered more about my soul, and like paying attention to my intuition more, like going out dancing as well. Like like another thing I am doing to increase my chances of finding a guy is I am going out dancing more and stuff like that. And you should be filling your life up with what makes you joyful and happy to attract the right people, because if you're always doing negative things towards yourself or negative self-talk, you'll attract those negative people in your life, and we don't want that. Do you know what I mean? We've had enough of that in our life. It's only when you're fully alive in yourself and you're real and you're honest that people get attracted to you. Like, people don't get that attracted to people that are miserable. I'll be honest with you, because I used to be miserable for years, and And I used to think, where's friends? I've got no friends. I didn't have many friends at all, you know. But part of it's because I was unhappy. And there was other factors, you know, that I didn't value my self-worth. I didn't love myself. I didn't like myself. But now I do. Do you know what I mean? I love my life, really. I mean, another thing is to be grateful and thankful for what you've got, you know, like even if you're looking for the right friendship and right relationship, is to be grateful and thankful in the moment for everything you do have right now, you know. Like at the moment, I have food in my cupboard, I have some money in my purse, I have a roof over my head, I have colourful bedding, I have colourful like curtains. I got a lot done today. I've reached some more people through my blogs. You know, people might come across my blog, they've never heard of me before, and then, you know, that could lead to them buying a book and changing their life. Like the guy who connected with me on asexuality.com, who's bought my book, like I was saying earlier. You know, Asexual Perspectives book. I mean, I've seen him message me a couple of times, and already he's gone from, oh, I'm really confused and my head wants to explode, to now, oh, yeah, I can really relate and now I can be myself. Do you know what I mean? That is a huge shift in like last week I've seen in this person. It's like, wow, that's a huge shift. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's why I know writing is my life purpose. It's my hugest passion. I personally, because I'm so passionate about writing, I do not see anything in the world that can change people's lives more than the written word. I mean, obviously, I'm hugely biased because I'm a writer, but I just don't see it. For me personally, I mean, obviously, these videos do change people's lives as well, because I have messages, private messages, like through my chat bubble on asexualized.com for a start, for example, that goes through to my email. You know, I have people messaging me saying, "I watch your videos on your channel; they're really helpful." And sometimes I don't have many viewers on here, but because I change those people's lives, that's what I'm here for. You know, at the end of the day, some people can have like what 2,000 viewers or whatever, and they don't actually make much difference. They just talk something and it sounds good, and people listen, it's entertaining, but they haven't actually changed any person's life. And I'm actually about personal development and personal growth on this channel. If you haven't noticed already, it's kind of personal development and personal growth mixed with asexuality, relationships, and dating. If you've noticed, that's what I specialize in, because I'm always on this personal growth journey myself. And that's what I bring to the table that is different to many other asexual channels. Like many other asexual channels aren't about focusing on developing and growing yourself as a person, as well as through your asexuality. Do you know what I mean? And so that's where I specialize, I guess. And I love doing these videos for you guys. And, you know, one of my asexual friends, they did say to me, you know, this leaves a legacy, all your videos. And they are right. You know, these videos will be around for years to come. And some of them, you know, when I'm live streaming now, most of my live streams are for an hour. And some people are like, why don't you do shorter videos? It's because actually, when I look at my statistics, more people like the longer videos than the live streams. More people tune in for longer. I get more likes on them. I get more interaction with them. And if you didn't already know how YouTube's algorithm works, if your algorithm's too technical for you, it's basically an algorithm is like if you think about it like a beat of music, and you know what the beat of the music is, that's the best way to be exposed to loads of people. It's that type of thing, you know. So with the algorithm, you know, it goes on watch time now. It goes on how long people are watching you for. So therefore, the shorter videos, you know, like in order to have the same amount of viewers or more, I would have to keep pumping out short 10-minute videos constantly, you know, but they don't get as many likes as my long live streams like these do. So, you know, my figures are up the majority of the time. I'm not going to say all the time, but the majority of the time, you know, because I do these videos. I'm the only person that I know of that does live videos every single day, or tries to do them every single day. I think there's only a couple of times, well, a few times, maybe a handful of times I've missed because I've been out somewhere or catastrophes happened. Like there was one video I did about, I don't know, was it about a week or two ago, where I did about fact I did have a meltdown and I did miss one video because I was busy with work stuff and someone was helping me, and I did end up just a bit upset and everything was getting on top of me. It's to do with the book formatting, actually. It was just taking the guy way much longer. It's very stressful because he did it right in the end, well, with the PDF format, but it was very stressful time. I was just like, and there was other stuff, personal stuff that cropped up. So, I'm not infallible. I am a human being. Occasionally, there might be scenarios where I can't be on here. Like if I'm out for the night and I haven't done a stream in the day and I'm out past midnight, then, I'm not going to be able to do it because I can't live stream on this channel from a mobile device anymore. Otherwise, I would. Because unless I've got 1,000 subscribers and X amount of watch time, then you're not allowed to actually live stream from a mobile device. I can still live stream from here, but I can't take this Mac with me. Well, I'm glad you're happy. Thanks for doing these. You're a great human being. Oh, thank you, Mason Man. That's really nice. That's really nice. Lots of love to you. Thank you very much for coming here. I really appreciate that. That's really sweet. Thank you so much. It's really, really nice of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here. It's really nice. Yeah. So I think it's important, it is important to do things for other people, I just love doing these videos. I mean, I've been doing them live now since July last year. Yeah, that's long time to be doing live streams all the time. I just love it. A lot of my time and attention goes on it because I just want to help you guys so much. I just feel like it's the right thing for me to do. It's intuitive, should I say. It's intuitive that I'm on here all the time. Like, it's my little home where I help people, and I just, I want to reach a lot of people. It's really important to me, and there's some sexuals that come on here for advice because they've got asexual partners, because I get comments from them as well. Sometimes it's really sweet. Like, I've had someone message me via my chat bubble, and they're not asexual, but their girlfriend is, and they wanted advice on how to help them, how to help the relationship. And so I would say, if you're looking for a relationship and friendship, one of the other things you're going to have to do, if you don't do that already, is to be very, very communicative with the other person, and to be very, very direct and honest in what you want, in your needs, wants, likes, dislikes. If you're looking for your dream relationship or dream friendship, you want to filter out all the people that are not right for you. And why that might sound really harsh, it's not. Life is too short and precious to be faffing around, not getting to the right people quickly. If you know, for example, in a relationship that you don't want kids and the other person does, there's no point in going down there, having a relationship and causing yourself heartache, because you'll get emotionally attached to the person usually. Do you know what I mean? It's just not on. Just don't go with that, because that if that's a deal breaker for you, don't bother. What a lot of people do, they're so scared at the beginning of a friendship or relationship, they don't ask the right hard-hitting questions, and then they get stung 3 or 6 months down the line when they're more attached to the person. They can't detach, and they fall in love with them, or they really got a strong bond, or they think they have, but it's based on stuff that's not actually compatible. So, you have to weed out the people that aren't compatible. They'll be compatible for someone else, I know there'll be people, for example, friends, like people that come into my life that will make great friends for someone else, but they're not my type of people, like, for example, I can't stand horror films. I can't stand supernatural films or movies. Like, I can have friends that like that, but if that's their primary thing, that they just like talking about horror stuff all the time, and it goes on and on and on about horror, that's not good for me in my life, because I can't stand it, and I don't want that to for me. A lot of asexuals do like horror stuff, but personally for me, it's very negative, very dark, and a place I don't want to go in my life. So, I can't be with a partner who loves horror, and that's really a huge part of their life. There's a guy who is foreign in the UK, for example, on an asexual dating site, and he friend requested me a long time ago on Facebook, and he had a picture of Hannibal Lecter as his profile. I just said, I can't have that. I can't even have you in my friends list looking like that. I'm sorry, but I just can't. I just don't want to look at that. It's just horrible for me. There's certain things that trigger me, certain things that are not good for me. So I couldn't possibly be in a relationship with someone who likes horror, but a lot of asexuals like horror, so that person's going to be able to, choose a lot more people that are into horror and have a great time watching horror movies and putting up horror posters and, discussing horror sublines and plots and everything. Do you know what I mean? And that's good for them. So, you have to realize in life that when people come into your life that are possible friends or relationship material, as it were, there's some people might not be right for you, but that doesn't mean to say they're not right for other people. And you just let them go on their way to meet the people that are right for them. Do you see what I mean? Because, I don't want a guy to come into my life pretending to be someone he's not, which I have had quite a few guys like that, saying what he thinks I want to hear, and really he's not that interested, or he's just doing it for egotistical reasons because he just wants to be, just wants someone's attention, and because he's saying the right things he thinks he's going to get it. That's not good for me. It's no point in doing that for him as well. He's much better off using his time more wisely to chat up people, girls or whatever gender that he wants to chat up, do you know what I mean? Rather than waste his time doing that. Life is so precious. And if you want to find your dream relationship or dream friendship, you don't want to be wasting your time on people that really don't fit your bill, that really don't fit in with your lifestyle or what you want. That's not being nasty. That's just being adult and just being attentive to your own needs, and also being attentive to their needs, letting people go out of your life that aren't right for you but could be very, very good for someone else. Like, there's no point in keeping something. It's like a kid that has a bag of sweets, right? And there's always some, like, maybe one sweet color you don't like in there. So maybe it's, I don't know, a green color. You love all the other colored sweets but the green, but you keep the green in there because you were given them as a whole bag. I've done silly stuff like this before. I'm not saying I'll never do it again, but it's this, like the green sweet. Maybe I hate the green sweet, but instead of giving it away to someone else, I would keep it because it was given to me in the first place. But it's like now, if I have like a box of chocolates or whatever, like sugar-free, gluten-free, wheat-free, and every other free, if there's something I don't like in it, I can give it to like my mum and dad if they prefer it. Do you know what I mean? Because even though my mum and dad might be giving me the chocolates, they can still enjoy them. Because what's the point in me having something that's not right for me? It doesn't fit me. It's not good for me. Do you know what I mean? I don't like the taste of it. Just see what I'm saying? So you've just got to be very aware that there are going to be lots of people that come into your life that aren't the right fit for you friendship-wise, or aren't the right fit for you relationship-wise. They just are. And you have to have acceptance of that. You have to have acceptance that there's lots of people that just won't be right for you. And, that helps with the rejection aspect as well, because in order to get a relationship with dreams, you're going to have to be rejected by people. I'm rejected by guys, not, I mean, lots of guys find me attractive, but when it comes to a relationship, I'm very acquired taste, shall we say, and lots of guys are not interested in a relationship with me, especially because I like younger guys, and there's tons of younger guys that don't like older women, and there's lots of guys that do actually like older women, but the ones that I know, a lot of them are scared. They're scared to show the world their truth. They're scared to be with an older woman or to be public with an older woman, especially like me, because I'm very public profile, aren't I? As soon as I mention or they see my Facebook page as public, it's like, oh no. And actually it scares asexuals sometimes, some of them, but not sexuals. Sexuals couldn't care less from asexual. They're like, yay, what do I had a business person connect with me today. They do, what do? Do you make people asexual? Train people to be asexual? I'm like, no, I help people who are asexual. I do courses for people who are asexual. Do you know what I mean? I educate others about asexuality. That's what I do, But they said, they were intrigued as to what I do because they couldn't quite understand, because they've only just connected with me. And so, you have to be honest and speak your truth, and you have to realize that there will be people that reject you. I have guys that are not, that are like, no, you're not for me, and that's fine. I'd rather them reject me. I don't even see it as rejection a lot of the time. I just see it as them finding out that I'm not right for them and moving on. But, some people might call it rejection. But, I do probably get what I would call rejection as well, where it's blatantly like, oh, no. Like, you get some people that are carefully considered it, and then it's no. And then you get some people that are outrightly no. Like, I'm not speaking to you again. They just cut off and don't even speak to me ever again. And I'm assuming that's because some of them, think I want a friend, whereas I'm a hyper romantic. And I'm, for example, on ASAP, I'm looking specifically for a relationship on there. Whereas loads of them are also looking for friendship, And when I'm there to look for a relationship, when they start talking to me and they realize, they look at my profile and they realize from my conversation that I'm looking for a relationship, that's when they stop talking about, stop talking to me because they're not looking for a relationship. But then it's better for me. What's the point in me having a guy waste my time and their time talking to me for ages when really we've got completely different agendas? And you could argue, well, that person could make a nice friend. They might be able to make a nice friend. But if I've got it in my head that I'm looking for a relationship, how can I be friends with someone who I'm like adamant in my head that I'm looking for a relationship? If these people come in, I'm not looking at friendship in that way. I'm not saying they could never be a friend, but as someone who's personally a hyper romantic who gets attracted to even their friends, right? And because I don't experience any platonic attraction, for me, I get attached to a guy quickly. If I'm getting attached to a guy who only ever wants friendship and I want a relationship, that's not compatible. That's not compatible. It's better to separate. That person can go off and find people that like them who just want friendship, and I can be left more freer to spend that time and energy and effort looking for the right person to be in a relationship with, because you've only got a limited amount of time on this planet Earth and a limited amount of time in a day. If you're spending your time, energy, and effort on something that's not really what you're wanting and after from that person or in that moment, you're barking down the wrong tree and you're losing your energy and time unwisely, right? We are only got 24 hours in a day, and most of us, well, quite a lot of us sleep for at least probably 8 hours. Some of us might only sleep 4 hours a night, but you've only got so many hours in a day. Do you see what I'm saying? If I'm spending, for example, 3 hours messaging a guy who just wants to be my friend, whereas I'm finding him attractive and want to have a relationship with him, do you know what I mean? I'm wasting my time. I'm absolutely wasting my time. And so is that person, because I'm not going to feel just friendship for them. If I've started to develop romantic feelings, which with me is just pretty much like a bolt, like jump over the hurdle. Yeah, you go from meeting them to fancy, having some sort of romantic feelings for them very quickly. It's just the way I am, and I have to accept that about myself. It's just a waste of time for me and them. And while it might twinge me a little bit at first, while it might be like, oh, I've got to kind of break off from them now, it's much better to do that. There was a guy who I spoke about a little while ago who's on ASAP from France, nice person. But, when he started talking as well, I realised that we're just not compatible. Our minds are on different wavelengths. And, when I was telling him, I said to him, I like public displays of affection. I like kissing in public. I like holding hands in public. I like doing all those things in public. Is that really what you like? And he hadn't even thought about it. And then he thought about it and said, no, probably not. And so when you're looking for your dream relationship, for example, you need to be very, very, very clear on what you want and what may be deal breakers. I know a lot of people don't like public displays of affection. I know for me, I have to have it. It's something I need in a relationship. I am not prepared to be with any person who doesn't want to hold my hand, who doesn't want to kiss and cuddle me and be very, very affectionate in public. I can't be doing that. I feel like I'm a caged animal, which is very hard probably for people to understand, because most people don't want. Most people kind of feel weird doing public displays of affection, but I'm the opposite. I need public displays of affection. I need to be free to sit on my guy's lap, free for him to lift me up, free to kiss and cuddle, free to do all that stuff with. I like my freedom in that way. I'm very free as a single unit to express my romance towards myself, to go out on dates, to be who I am. And I need that. And I think that's another thing you've got to just remember, to make sure your needs, wants, likes and dislikes. Really, 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 you're not going to get your dream guy or dream friendship if you don't know what your likes, dislikes and everything are. Like if someone is, for example, if you're a really religious person and you come across someone who wants to be your friend who hates religion, who doesn't just hate, not just not having a religion, they hate it, and they're constantly going on about people saying, oh, religious people are horrible, and they're kind of like criticizing what's core value to you. That's not going to be good for you. So you have to cut loose those type of people quickly, and move on. But this means that you have to understand yourself better. In order to find the person of your dreams, your relationship or friendship, you have to understand yourself on a deep, fundamental level. So if you haven't sat down and spent any time with yourself on your own, switching the TV off, switching your laptop off, switching social media off, hi big sheep, and just being there by yourself, do you know what I mean? Then if you haven't done that and spent time just with yourself, listing, what you actually really want in life, what your dream person will be and what you will tolerate in a relationship and what you don't want in a relationship, you haven't spent any time doing that with yourself, then, you're not going to meet the right person, because you don't know who that right person is, because you haven't got a clue, because you haven't written it. So you need to spend some time if you haven't never done this, you spend some time, switch off the TV, switch off your social media, switch off anything to the outside world, and literally just sit with yourself, like in a chair at the table or on the bed, and literally pen and paper in hand, and write down, what your needs, wants, likes, and dislikes are in a relationship. What you won't tolerate, what's unacceptable to you. Because unless you understand yourself, no one else is going to understand you. I run, like I said, dating groups, and some people on there, I'm like, well, what type of relationship do you want? I don't know what I want. I haven't thought about it. I don't line a finger in the arse. Right, okay. Well, we're not talking about that, aren't we? Really, that's for you to think about. So you need to write down like stuff that you like or dislike in a relationship, from hobbies, interests, like intimacy, spirituality, religion, politics, whatever is true for you, whatever really dominates your life. Like, I know some people are very political. Politics is a huge part of their life. I'm not interested in politics, but some people are for a political party, and if you're always for the opposite party, that can really cause conflict in your relationship all the time. It's a big deal for them, you know what I mean? Some people have certain hobbies and interests that they want someone to share with them. This is real, by the way. I'm in a relationship and I want to be whipped, but oh, right, you're just being rude now. This is an asexual channel where I don't experience sexual attraction. So, if you're going to start talking about sex, go and speak to your partner. Do you know what I mean? Just like, this is an asexual channel, which means I lack sexual attraction, and I'm not here to talk about sex. I'm here to talk about relationship and friendship, right? And so, you need to work out exactly what you want, your needs, wants, likes, and dislikes, and spend time with yourself, And like I said, you need to get out of your comfort zone and literally try new ways of meeting people, of talking to people, of of engaging in conversation with people. And the people that aren't suitable for you, just cut quickly, otherwise you'll just end up in a spiral of chaos and end up with people being only a tiny bit of what really matters to you and got stuff in common with you, and you're just wasting your time. So to recap on this video before I conclude, then, is the first thing I said at the beginning of this video about finding your ideal dream relationship or friendship is to believe it can happen in the first place. You have to believe. If you don't believe it can ever happen for you, what we focus on expands. So if you believe that, I'm never going to find the right relationship, no one's ever going to love me for the way I am, that will just expand, and you will attract that. I mean, who's going to get attracted to a person who says, I can't, no one will find me attractive, no one wants me? That is not attractive. Do you know what I mean? Yes, Kenny. These, you know what I mean? It's I just put any trolls in timeout or delete them from my channel. So it's, if they want to waste their time when they're deleted from my channel or muted, then that's up to them, isn't it? But yeah, so you've got to be true to, first of all, you've got to believe that it can happen, that it is possible. Because if you've got negative self-talk, if you don't believe you can find the right relationship for you or the right friendship for you, it will never happen. Because literally what we focus on expands. What we tell ourselves, we become. What we think, we become. So you've got to tell yourself the opposite of that. You've got to give yourself positive self-talk. Like, I will meet the right person for me. There is the right person for me out there. I mean, if you're monogamous, you're only looking for one person out of billions of people. So it's highly possible. Rock Gaming is a massive streamer. You blocked him. And I block whoever I want. Don't care how big they are. Do you know what I mean? If they're starting to talk about sex stuff, which this is a channel which predominantly is not interested in sex, then they're welcome to go elsewhere. So basically, make sure that you do believe it can happen for you in the first place, and then speak your truth. You know, be your true authentic self, come alive, be courageous, get out of your comfort zone, try new things, because obviously if you haven't found the relationship or friendship of your dreams yet, what you're doing is not working. So you need to change what you're doing and do different things in your life. You know, go to different places to meet people, start talking to, you know, strangers in supermarkets, in the street as you're passing. Get hobbies and interests where you go to different groups so you're out meeting different people, and just do things differently so you can get a different result. You know what I mean? And also, it will encourage you to be more courageous in other aspects of your life. You know, if you're courageous and get out of your comfort zone in this way, it'll encourage you to be more courageous in other aspects of your life, which can only be a good thing, because it means it's great for your career, it's great for building your confidence and self-esteem. And that's the other thing I touched on, wasn't it, about self-esteem, self-worth. If you value yourself and your own self-worth, then, you know, you're going to be a much better chance of getting the right person for you. And also, oh, thank you, Mason man. Bye. I have to go now. Have a lovely bye. Lots of love. Lots of love. And yeah, so, you know, self-worth, self-esteem, and literally write down a list of what your needs are, wants, likes or dislikes in a relationship, and don't waste your time on people that really, really aren't right for you. I love myself. I want to win back my ex back. He won't take me back. You should never ever want to have your ex back. They're ex for a reason. You should move on. You know, I'm not gonna bull around. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm not gonna bull around. The truth is, you don't want your ex back. You shouldn't want your ex back. They're your ex for a reason. You move on. You look for another person. Don't hanker after your past ex, because while you're hankering after them, you've got feelings for them. You'll never ever have love and your open heart for other people. So you literally move on. If your ex doesn't want you back, why would you be with someone or want to get back with someone who doesn't love you? But he says he still wants me. But that's his problem, isn't it? Not your problem. Not your problem. If he still wants you, but he won't take you back, then that's actually mixed messages, isn't it? It's not true. Because if he really wanted you, he'd take you back. So he doesn't really want you. So you let him go. That's what I said in the earlier part of the video that you missed, Kenny, about detachment. So you just detach, right? You don't want to get back with an ex. And it doesn't even matter if they want to get back with you. They're an ex for a reason. Why? Because things didn't work out. So you move on to someone else that's got a higher probability of them working out. If you go back and do the same thing, you'll probably get the same result. If neither of you've changed, you'll just get the same problems that you had before and the same scenario repeating like a cycle. So you just don't bother trying to get exes back. Cut off from them, block them out of your life. Go. Move on to pastures new, get new people in your life, new relationships, new friendships. Move on. Don't hanker after an ex. I didn't go back to my exes. Why would I? They're my exes for a reason. We didn't work out. We gave it a shot. It didn't work. There's billions of other people on this planet Earth that possibly could be the right person for us. Don't waste your time, energy, and effort on an ex. Don't want to get them back. There's no point. You should only, that's actually not very much self-love. That's not true at all. Well, that's up to you. I don't know what dating rubbish you've been listening to. But it's true. You need to move on, not hanker after an ex. They're your ex for a reason. Why would you? That's okay. If you don't agree with me, you don't have to listen to me anymore, do you? If you think I'm talking bull, then you're welcome to go on another channel that will tell you what you want to hear. So yeah. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you for now, because I think I've given you a lot of things to take on board today in this live stream. Again, you know, don't forget to write down your needs, wants, likes and dislikes in a relationship. Make sure you know yourself very, very well before seeking a friendship and relationship, and really, really tune into who you are, and don't waste your time, energy and effort on people that are clearly no good for you. They've got completely different interests for you. They don't match your core needs and desires in a relationship or friendship. You know, wish them well and a lot of love and luck, because obviously, you know, everyone's beautiful in their own right, and whilst they may not be suitable for you, they'll be suitable for someone else. So yeah, So yes. Anyway, I won't have anyone speaking negatively like that about people on my channel. Anyway, I'm gonna love you and leave you for now. Thank you so much for joining in. If you're new to this channel and you are asexual, lack sexual attraction, then you know, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And yeah, don't forget to keep being beautiful you, and keep loving your life and being the amazing person you're always born to be. Fill your cup up with lots of self-love, lots of happiness, and yeah, just come alive and live your dreams. If you're living your dreams, you're more likely to attract the relationship of your dreams and the friends of your dreams too. Stay and be true to who you are. Love you lots. Take care, and thanks for tuning in. Night. Brace your quirky and each other's. I'll see you on the next video live stream. Bye bye.